Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year and Happy Zita Nation Day, all you friends and family, fans and followers of the Zita Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for joining us here for another episode of the Zita Nation. Thank you for coming back once again for another episode of The Revolution. I am your incredibly talented and wonderfully handsome host with the most, Emperor Zita, coming to you, as always, from the greatness that is the Fortress of Solitude here in Etobicoke, Ontario, Canada. So this week was a very quiet week in the Zita Nation. We are recovering from the holidays and getting ready for the Emperor's birthday bash, which we will have footage of for you next week. So this week, very simple episode, but something special with Empress Magz. She is a week and a half away from her due date, so next week's episode may be a little late, depending on if the Empress goes into labor or not. Here's hoping she waits till after the Emperor's birthday. Now, one thing I really want to touch on is something that has been all over the news. There have been protests. There have been riots. What I'm talking about is the poor young lady whose life was taken from her after being brutally beaten and raped and had unspeakable horrors happen to her. Now, you all know the story, and in my opinion, these 6 men deserve to be put to death. And I'm not talking lethal injection or the electric chair or even a firing squad. I'm talking you get somebody with a gun to go right up to their face and blow them away. This is why here at the Zita Nation we advocate the death penalty for every country around the world. Anyways, that is enough from me. Let's get on with the show. Rock and roll, baby. Here we go.
A week and 2 days till baby's due. It's very cramped in there. Ready for him to come out. He won't come out fast enough. And he's really getting on my nerves. Literally. Again. Over and over. Yes, he sits right on my sciatic nerve. Today I thought I was going to die of pain. I was finishing up packing up my overnight bag. Clothes to go home. Outfit for the baby to come home in. Receiving blanket, nursing bra pads, nursing bra, feminine stuff, diapers for the baby, shampoo, conditioner, toothbrush, toothpaste, body wash, hairbrush, basic stuff that you need. Could be any time. I'm a ticking time bomb, the doctor says. Oh, I think he's ready to go. Doing somersaults and really starting to get uncomfortable. It's really getting cramped in there and becoming uncomfortable when he shifts and stretches. Sleep. What sleep I do get once I get comfortable is only disturbed by me having to shift because I get uncomfortable or heartburn kicks in or my bladder. Oh, the basic stuff to get done with Catherine, it takes a lot more out of me because it's a lot harder for me to bend over. Like, even bath time is hard. Getting her changed is hard because it involves just shifting and bending over, and it really is strainful on the back, on the side, and when he is sitting on my nerve, it makes pretty much doing anything impossible. I wish he would come out, and I'm ready to meet him.
So it is official. CM Punk has been cleared to compete on the first Raw of the new year. I, for one, am finally glad he's going to be off the crutches, and even though it was a legitimate knee injury, I am so sick of this whiny, crying, bitching Punk. He is much too good of a wrestler to be such a whiny little bitch. So he'll be facing Ryback in a TLC match for the title.
We more! We more!
I think this is going to be a brutal match, and I think it's going to showcase how Punk can make anyone look good. And I got a feeling that The Rock is going to interfere. Because as we all know, January 7th, Monday's Raw will mark the return of the Great One to the Squared Circle. Last time we saw The Rock, he was getting GTS'd by Punk. I think it's time for The Rock to get revenge.
I am awesome!
Speaking of the Rumble, 3 names have already been announced as participants. We have Sheamus, last year's winner, Randy Orton, and we have John Cena. I wouldn't mind seeing neither one of these 3 win that Royal Rumble match. I think the Royal Rumble should be used to elevate somebody who is not already in the main event scene.
You can see me.
Speaking of John Cena, the John Cena Dolph Ziggler storyline has lost a lot of steam. Even though I loved on Raw how they gave him the DX shit bath. How awesome was it to see Ziggler's beautiful white tuxedo covered in shit. What happened to Vicky Guerrero in this storyline? All of a sudden Vicky Guerrero has become a secondary character on her own show?
Excuse me!
Am I the only one that thinks Team Hell No need better contenders? Bring back the New Age Outlaws, have them feud with Team Hell No, give them one last run with the titles.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Zack Ryder didn't even get a match this week on Raw. He was in the backstage segment woo-woo-wooing while Mae Young gave birth to Hornswoggle. Come on 3 hours of Raw you can't find something better for Zack Ryder to do than that?
Woo, woo, woo. You know it.
Now, considering it's a brand new year and we're coming up on episode 100 of The True Long Island Story, I hope that this year is the 1013. I hope this is a year of Zack Ryder. My personal opinion, you want to make the Royal Rumble sizzle? You have someone like Zack Ryder, the king of the Battle Royal, win the Royal Rumble. Nobody would see that one coming.
Right, yeah.
The guy's got almost 1 million Twitter followers, and the WWE doesn't seem to want to acknowledge anything that Zack Ryder has done to help their business. So WWE Creative, stop dropping the ball with Zack Ryder. He is over like Rover. It is time to give him a proper push. He could be the next John Cena.
Are you serious, bro?
We're going.
I learned my hat! We were baby on the toilet this morning. You can see it if I rain this, Papa. In the rain. We did it, silly. He's upstairs laying on the floor in the room. Candy, I want my show on. Please, can I have my show on? Treehouse. I'm going to baby, whatever. To Grandma. Papa! Even my baby on the toilet set. I want some friends with Mommy. We can have some friends over.
To recall, electric nights leave me waiting for the fall, waiting for the fall, waiting for the fall. It's what I knew that I can't, but as soon as I was done.
Hello, people!
It's comic book day.
That's right, it's Comic Book Day, and we are here at home. We are headed out to Excalibur because Rob is open this week. This is our first Comic Book Day of the new year.
And it's snowing. And I'm catching a snowflake.
So we're going to talk to Rob and Fred because we haven't seen them in 2 weeks and we really miss them.
I'm with Rob and Fred.
We will see you soon, people.
See you soon, people.
See you soon, people. We are back to watching this. We're back. Well, we are here at Excalibur Comics for the first comic book day of the new year. And we're headed upstairs because if we didn't come here today, I think Catherine would freak out. Last week she was flipping out because we didn't come. This is Excalibur Comics, 3030 Bloor Street West, upstairs above the Kingsway Theater. Yeah.
Well, today we're going to start off with a couple of books that I really enjoy. Hellboy by Mike Mignola. This is one of the best series around. Mignola has been writing Hellboy for a good many years, and what's so special about Hellboy in Hell is he's actually drawing and his work has always been quite good when he's basically penciling and inking his own books and stuff. Hellboy in Hell is a nice little series that's going on right now at Dark Horse. And then another book I would strongly recommend, Joe Kubert Presents, which is based on Joe Kubert stuff that's probably the stuff that attracts us, and let's face it, his last work is in these books right here. So this is the second part of the Redeemer series. I have no idea what's gonna happen, because the Redeemer was also a series that was supposedly supposed to be published years ago. But anyway, it's nice to have this work in this book right now. Iron Man, Greg Land's Iron Man. That's again, I do like the artwork in this, so you know, people have problems with it, but that's okay. I've been always enjoying it, Greg Land's Iron Man. So the New Avengers. Now, Steve Epting, who's one of the few artists in line with John Buscema, who's an incredibly talented artist, and Epting's working on the new Avenger book, which has Black Panther in it. So I would recommend it just for the artwork. And again, I'm a big sucker when it comes to the artwork and stuff, so this is the kind of stuff I really enjoy. Speaking of other stuff, Bendis on Daredevil End of Days. Again, when you talk about good writers, Bendis is going to be finishing off Daredevil in one fashion or another. And again, you've gotten a number of people like David Mack and Klaus Janson to do work on this book. So there's 8 issues of this, so enjoy it while you can, because we all know that it's not really the end of Daredevil. It's just, you know, what their idea of what the end of Daredevil would be, what they'd like that to be. Okay, then the other thing I will mention, of course, is Grant Morrison on Batman Incorporated. He's a good writer, and I think that this is the kind of title that he's most suited for doing, so I would recommend also, again, more for the writing than for the art itself. Not the art's not bad or anything, but I really enjoy Grant Morrison working on the Batman Incorporated series. Okay.
We're talking about United Nations, Agenda 21. Apparently they're saying Agenda 21 was planned conference by the United Nations back in the 70s, 80s. Basically, it almost matches the Communist Manifesto. People will not own any land, because the explanation was when people own land, they accumulate wealth, and you'll create disparity between the rich and the poor. Therefore, we take all the land away from them. Slowly in America, you've been putting these committees or agencies whereby any resources you have, like a river running through your backyard or a lake or whatever behind your dwellings or whatever, they are allowed to take that away from you so that the whole community can share it. You're not allowed to have it anymore. The main thing is to take away the land and to control the water. Eventually, 99% of all the population living in the cities, and there'll be mega cities, and approximately 99% of all the land will be reverted back to wildlife. So you will basically have cities more or less on the east coast and west coast, and nothing in the middle. Everything else will be government controlled. Driving downtown Toronto, you see tons of condos going up. Usually you only need about 100,000, 150,000 a year. But just this year alone, they're making close to almost 300,000 new units. Eventually, Canada will adopt the UN nation, I think, and concentrate people in cities. When you concentrate people in cities, you're now able to control the people better, because you can control the food going in to feed the people. You control the water system, everything they need. Eventually, you won't be able to use your cars or anything, they're saying, because everything's now environmental. Back in my high school days, 80% of students between 16 and 24 drove cars. Today, it's a reverse. Only 20% of students or adults between 16 and 24, they drive cars now. We're all gone to this environmental push where everything, you know, is green and electric and so forth. But it's really Agenda 21 taking hold. Even in the Playboy January, February 2013 issue, there's an article in there besides pictures. They're saying death of suburbia. Eventually cities will replace suburbia, because the people living in suburbs, there's a higher percentage of them becoming poor. Eventually, when you increase the price of gas, because in suburbia you have to go everywhere, school, shopping, everything, you need a car. So you increase the price of oil and gasoline, eventually suburbia, the people become poorer. That's one way of controlling the wealth, I guess. As United Nations, whatever they say becomes law. George Bush Sr. saying back in the 70s when he was the envoy to the United Nations, he said China should only have one-child policy. Next thing you know, China adopts that, because China was told to have that policy. That's the only way they're going to bring in all the factories and stuff. And China didn't bring itself up without any help. But the United Nations say eventually all countries will have to follow. And in fact, the United Nations says China is the best model country in the world, mainly because the government can control the people. And that's what they want, total control of the United Nations.
Well, looks like our first episode of the new year is finished. Thank you for joining us here for episode 37 of The Revolution. Come back again next week where we will have footage of the Emperor's birthday bash right here on YouTube. Go back and check out all of our other episodes right here on YouTube. And subscribe to my channel, Emperor Zita, right here on YouTube. Did you get your Drop Dead Pinups, the Electric Night CD for Christmas? If not, check them out on iTunes. And follow them on Twitter at Drop Dead Pinups. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Emperor Zita. Head down to Excalibur Comics for all your comic book related needs. And it is my destiny to become WWE Champion. I'm Emperor Zita, but you already knew that.